It's always impossible until it's done. Then and no one says it's impossible anymore. And that's what I believe. We have many times in elections with propositions, like good government propositions or anything, or environmental propositions. We have sometimes lost 5 times. And the press came to me and said, don't you get the message that people have voted no 5 times? And I said, no, I don't get the message. I said, because I come from the lifting background. We did not just try to lift the weight 5 times and then after I couldn't lift it after the 5th time I gave up. I said, there will be no world champions. If you will give up after 5 times trying. In sports, you try and you try and you try and sometimes you fail 10 times and the 11th time I lifted my 500-pound bench press in front of 2,000 people at the German championships. So you try and you try, and the same is with policies. I remember Teddy Kennedy has tried universal health care his entire life. And he passed away and it was not done yet. You see what I'm saying? So we should never give up. And this is why I always tell people, yes, it is a struggle to move forward our agenda, but never ever give up. We got to fight and march forward, and that's why I talk very heavily about vision. Because when you have a vision, it is so much fun to fight the war and to fight those battles and to move forward. People always ask me in bodybuilding, how can you train every day 5 hours in the gym? And I said, I looked forward to the next set and to the next rep, to do the next 20 sit-ups, the next 50 squats, the next 100 chin-ups, because I knew every rep meant to get 1 step closer to accomplishing my vision and to turn it into reality. And that's why it is so much fun when you have a vision. That's why I always tell people, have a vision and then go after that vision and learn how to sell that vision.
No pain, no gain, huh?
That's what they say. I can tell you on my forehead. No gain, no pain.
But are you genuinely an environmental crusader? Is this really deeply, in your heart, really deep felt project? Or is it more of a promotional campaign? I have to ask you that.
Well, you have to be in a promotional campaign, but it is deep in my heart at the same time, because otherwise you couldn't do that for that many years. You cannot fake your way through that many years. And let me tell you, I didn't start out being an environmentalist. I started out in protecting the environment because I come from Austria, and in Austria it was kind of like always common knowledge that you got to protect the environment. So I grew up with it, but not really being intense about it at all. And later on, when I became governor, and as I got the information, and as I was educated by people that were experts, that were much smarter than I was, I became more and more interested in that subject and became more and more convinced that God has put me in this world to fight those kind of causes and to use my skills to fight for those kind of causes. And so that's what I do.
So what was your wake-up call?
I think it was just gaining that information, seeing that how much we as the world increase our carbon output every year. I mean, just think about it. We just have reached 7 billion population, just this last month. By the year 2030, they said that we will be 8 billion. So that's a 14% or so increase. And so that means that the whole world has to per capita reduce by 14% the output of CO2 just to be even when we have this extra billion people come into this world. So it shows you how important it is and the urgency here, that how we have to really fight in order to get that accomplished. And of course, also Secretary General Ban Ki-moon's vision of having energy for everybody by the year 2030 is another very important vision that we want to turn into reality.
There have been many readers of the Norwegian newspaper VG. They want to ask you questions, And one of the things they